I'm sure we've all seen the news about the parents earning more than $65,000, which does that mean they earn $65,000 collectively or each? I actually haven't even thought about that.
I wasn't able to confirm that, but I think
Okay.
that must be collectively, right? Like,
I hope
regardless.
not.
Well, irregardless, it must be if they have a total of
True.
65K.
No,
I think.
Oh, that's grim.
Because otherwise you'd have to have a separate goal for solo parents, wouldn't you?
Yeah, true. I guess you're right.
Unless this is just their way of fudging the numbers. I don't know. But
Yeah.
they dropped this on the weekend, and I think today they've finally been doing just follow-ups on the story.
Press conference and all that bullshit. But yeah, so parents earning more than $65,000 must support their 18 to 19-year-old child, with the government tightening eligibility for JobSeeker. So yeah, we're getting means tested, which, like, that sounds like a great idea. That's not going to cost us heaps of money to do. Not at all. Yeah, parental income test demonstrating whether the parents earned income at or below the income limit. Oh yeah, it must be then. Fuck. That's so low.
Oh, but they're offering a $1,000 incentive for 18 to 24-year-olds who complete a community job coaching and stay employed.
I was wondering, because I saw some jokes online earlier today about that, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me, right? Because then someone also pointed out, they're like, okay, so you expect these parents to be able to keep their kids at home, essentially, so that they can live at home. But then you're telling them they should probably move away from home to go find a job because there's none where they are. So, like, what? Is then the parents supposed to somehow pay for a whole second set of rent and power and food? Like, it doesn't fucking make sense.
Well, like, as I noted, 65K is pretty meh salary. Like, it's not much. I'm on just over 60, and, you know, I barely get by sometimes. I'm just like, oh yeah, shit. That was a tight month, because I get paid monthly. So,
Oof,
you know, if I get to a 5-week month, sometimes I'll be like, holy shit, I need to go on just ramen noodles and shit for the rest of the week. Like,
yeah, getting paid like that is rough. And I mean, like, I remember when we were kids, the like average wage that you could live off of was $40,000 a year per person. But now it's gone. I just looked it up. It's $71,000 approximately that you need in order to meet that same kind of requirement. So yeah. Well, that it makes sense why you don't, 65K. That's, 6K less.
Yeah, over
and I'm
a
sure
third
that would
of
make a
my
difference.
income goes to rent alone. Over a third. Probably, I think it probably over half goes to just basic needs. Like, and I don't even buy fuel, like, because I'm not driving these days, so I don't do any of that shit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the amount of us who are now having to rely on public transport, which they often don't fucking really support either. And it also, I found it interesting because I also saw this other article that kind of ties into this, and it's this mother, she's a mother of one, saying she's facing an impossible situation, required to pay an ever-increasing amount of child support. She pays nearly $300 a week for her teenage son on an annual salary of $87,000. I absolutely cannot afford this. I am in severe hardship and considering resigning from my career. I am extremely worried about my future. And then she's on $87,000. That's like $20K more than you.
I wish I was on 87,000.
Right?
I'd be going crazy.
Yeah, and she said every time it felt like every time she asked for help, the amount she was told to pay went up. I cannot hold up a home for my son anymore and am moving into a flatting arrangement. I'm mentally struggling with being forced to do this. My son deserves better. It's the only choice I have left. If the cost of living wasn't where it was at right now and the cost of housing, that would possibly be different. It would still be unfair, but it might not be crippling me in the way it is now. And like you just said, I'm sure most of us would love to be on 87K, but I mean, trying to actually support life at that is just not really, it's not really as possible anymore.
And you will save a bit of money by flatting with like flatmates. Like I think I was probably paying $150 a week less or something, but to me, the trade-off for living by myself is just so
absolutely.
so much more of a gain to me personally.
I'm in the same situation. Like, I could technically get more people to live here, but
yeah,
I don't want to have to have a bunch of people living in a small house. And that's the thing is, I feel like our retirement, we're going to have to consider going back into flatting for our retirement at this rate.
We got Kiwi Rob just coming in with all the breaking news. Apparently, Winston Peters had his window smashed and called the person a disgusting coward. So,
lol.
There you go. Hurry up with that bill.
Right? Yeah, like, maybe we just need to like really go for it until they put it through.
I need a Winston Peters impression. But yeah, roughly around 43,000 18, 9-year-olds are estimated to become ineligible.
Just insane.
I listened to Luxon's interview this morning on RNZ, and he could not really find an answer as to why these extra sanctions were necessary on discriminating towards minors and punishing parents. He couldn't really explain that. So I got a couple of quotes here. Often what happens is the people will take a job, they don't stick with it for longer than a couple of days, and they don't show up on time. What's not acceptable, is to come straight out of school, straight onto the benefit, and then have you sitting there for 18 years. What we want better for you than that. Which is like,
right. Like,
who the fuck's doing that? Like,
I mean, there'd be a very small handful of, well, that's the thing is, he's talking about, and that's what they always do, is they take those very, very small amount of cases where, sometimes people have been raised to be a piece of shit, and they do this kind of stuff. But they're not the majority. They're not even close to the majority. And that's what I hate about this shit, is that they always take the example of like the worst beneficiary and basically act as if all of us are like that. Like, it's insane. And it's such a dog whistle trying to basically make out like, oh, if you're on the benefit, you must be a lazy piece of shit who doesn't want to contribute to society.
It's the classic welfare queen argument. It's like, you know, you hear a story about one person that's been on welfare the entire life. My mum used to go on about that person. She's like, I know them, their name is so and so, and they've never held a job for more than a week. And it's like who cares?
Honestly, well, it's funny because the only people that I've really encountered that were like that were privileged white kids who had their parents literally paying for everything. Like, in terms of like, they have moved out of home and the parents are still having to help like pay for everything. But the parents don't even try to like teach their kids how to not rely upon them. They just do it. And it's not your beneficiary kids who have been learning how to hustle since they were literally children.
I feel like attacked.
Right?
Like you're attacking me right now as a privileged white kid. So
well, check your privilege.
But anyway, we'll end up with a quote from Aaron here.
Yes.
A good friend of you and I, Aaron Hendry. He said, I've never met a young person that doesn't want to find work. Often that's their first goal, and it's the first thing they're striving for. And what they lack is support and the care that was required to meet their dreams. And that actually gave me a bit of a flashback to when I first left high school, because I didn't want to go straight into university. I actually wanted to, you know, go around, travel a bit, work, and, you know, sort of do a bit of soul searching type of stuff. But I was more pressured to go straight into university, take on debt, because that's what you got to do to grow up and find a good job, apparently.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
No.
Spoilers.
And I mean, I've always had a problem with the way that people kind of be like, oh, well, you finish high school and you have to go into tertiary and then you'll go into the big world. It's like, honestly, for some people, I think that like, not even necessarily OE like it used to be where it was like, oh, go take an OE. I think it's more just take a year or two to fucking figure out the world in yourself. Like, at that age, we shouldn't be pressuring them to just figure out their entire life path and take up an insane amount of debt as well at the same time. Like, I think we should be definitely encouraging these kids to actually, and supporting them so they can do all of that. But instead, they're just going to have more people slipping out of the cracks. And also they can say, look, we saved some money, guys. Aren't we amazing?
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah.